barbershop conversations, man. Hopefully everybody's doing great. And I want to talk about that incident in Jacksonville, I believe. It said Florida, I believe. First, I want to commend the police chief. Well, I think it was sheriff, so they call him the sheriff. Being extremely direct, to the point, and had a bunch of clarity. And reason why is because he said something that was so profound, and I talk about it now, and because I've been duped before by the internet reacting to a 30-second clip when a clip is actually 30 minutes, or in this case, well over 6 minutes. Gotta call a spade, man. And this incident, I think, could possibly be the genesis of, you know what? Black people aren't going to say it out loud, but they can see how they were emotionally manipulated with this video. Because they released a 30-second clip that went viral and everyone reacted to it. Then there is some portion of the world, the community at hand, at large, that says, you know what? He deserves that punch in the face. You know, he closed the door, making himself a threat with tinted windows because the police officers don't know what's inside the car. First, I want to say, let me start this video off by saying, or let me restart it, and say, the police officer should not have punched that man in the face. And I will also say that punch should not be worth millions of dollars to the victim. That's all I'm going to say. Because at the end of the day, this gets passed on to the taxpayer. See, they never told us that when we were doing all the marching and sue him for $30 million. And then you realize everything goes up. Right? It comes out of the general budget, man, you know? And I think if that was understood to people, every lawsuit that is won by a civilian, and especially when it's now death, there's no, I mean, murder, not death. Murder, you can't quantify that. I'm just talking about, like, generally speaking, like this is going to be a big case, so they're going to squeeze it. Ben Crump is on, so he's negotiating a settlement as we speak. And that might be the most expensive punch in modern American history, man. That cop deserves to be suspended because he has to move with a level of decorum. That is reality. And then too, I don't know about the stop itself, but it looked like it was daytime, and he probably didn't have his lights on auto, you know, because typically when you have your lights on auto, like I have mine on auto right now, the lights come on if it feels like, if the lighting drops below a certain spectrum, I guess, is that the term? So they got him on a technicality on the stop. And the same decorum that we expect from the police officers is the same decorum we should have. And I've grown to understand this. Let me say, I've grown. You know, I've been raised to think that police are the enemy, but as you get older, you realize they're really your allies. Your criminal, the criminals are your enemies, and the criminals. Now, I didn't. Now, people are gonna say, no, I'm not suggesting, nor am I saying that police officers are 100% free, because we had a sheriff gang out here in Los Angeles, and all of them deserve to go to jail. And it was well documented. Google it, LA Sheriff Gang. Feel free to Google it. All of them deserve jail time. And I think all their cases need to be re-brought up before a judge or at least a civilian slash government heads group, so they can reassess, because there are a lot of people in there. I'm not gonna say there are many people in jail. There are many people sitting in jail and overcharged because of that gang here in Los Angeles. I am just for the truth at this point. I don't care if a Republican say it, a Democrat say it. You know, I will say that I'm looking at the squirrels and stuff, and the birds play with each other. And I will say, being born and raised in Democrats, I do have a level of disdain for the Democratic Party, because they have duped, belittled, and destroyed Democratic cities. So with that being said, the young man was wrong. 22-year-old college kid, you know, looked like he had a bright future, looked like he understood, looked like he had a great sense of understanding. He looked like he knew what was next. Do everything in your power that you can possibly do. You probably got 30 seconds to a minute and a half to pull over, and 30 seconds to like 2.5 minutes before the police officer approaches your window. That gives you enough time to hit record and or go live. I suggest everybody do that to protect everyone's best interest, because everyone wants to go home. You have enough time to get your driver's license, your wallet. Some people may have their wallet where they have to reach for it, so you can prepare. You can slow down, drive 10 miles an hour, and just prepare yourself. And I think that's what we need to start teaching, how to communicate, because they have absolute power, and you want to get home. You know, I believe that young man was absolutely wrong, and because the police officer was wrong, he's going to be deemed as right. Do you understand? I believe he was absolutely wrong, and two wrongs don't make a right. The police officer should have had a level of decorum about him. One punch is going to cost taxpayers millions of dollars, dog. Oh, Fred, Fred, because you don't live in that state. You know, so, but it's coming soon to a Democratic city near you. You know, I got pulled over 2 Sundays ago. Whole family's in the car. We're going to Lincoln's game. And Dre is so nonchalant. She's sitting in the passenger seat. She's so nonchalant because she's in her head, man, it's just a $200 infraction. I'm not tripping. I got pulled over for a California stop, right, where I just rolled through a stop sign. And honestly, I don't know if I did it or not. I'm being honest. I have no idea, because, you know, I'm in my neighborhood, so I know the area, right? And he says, let me see your license and registration. And I says, and then I just asked for his supervisor, asked for the name of his supervisor. So when I go in there, I'll present what I have to say in addition to going to court. So I'm gonna make my case in court. You know, I can't win a court case on the street with police officers and they got guns and batons and spray and mace, and they can outnumber me and they have the law on their side in those moments, right? So I signed it. I didn't neglect to sign it. I was obviously like 10% bothered, you know, because I'm in my neighborhood, right? And but I didn't let that supersede reality. My whole family's in the car. My son is watching how I interact with police officers. My daughter is watching, and Elijah's in the car. My nephew, excuse me. And so I have to be the uncle, father, brother, husband, etc. So brother, not brother, uncle, father, leader, husband. So I had to be all of that in that moment, and I was. And I told Lincoln I'm gonna fight the case and see if I win. And that's simply it, man. I didn't choose to go viral, you know. So I said all to say The young man was wrong, and the police officer was wrong. The only thing is, the police officer is a part of an entity that he can financially benefit from. If the police officer, there's nothing wrong, especially when you see the man had a knife. Now, they're going to quickly justify it, and they're going to make a claim that he reached for his knife and, you know, he put his hands down and he was a threat, tinted windows. All this is going to come into play. The man just should have complied, took the ticket, called somebody on the phone, and cussed to the people on the phone. You know, it's just a $300 infraction, man. $500 infraction, man. So, and you go to traffic school, it won't show up on your insurance. You get what I'm saying? So, I want the young men, and you know who did King Randall did an excellent job at teaching kids how to interact with police officers. Roll down your windows. He did a great job opening up the door. Then he closed it with tinted windows. You become a threat now because those officers want to get home and they become anxious. You know, whether it's 10% anxious, they just become anxious. Don't put a police officer in a position where it makes them anxious, man, you know? And this is coming from a person who had to teach himself this. You know, you look at the internet, you're like, oh, the internet got me. But every black person needs to look at this case and be like, all the Democratic websites and Instagram pages, they put out a 30-second clip. They tried to emotionally grab me and control me and put me in a chokehold. But when I saw that 6-minute, 7-minute video, I realized he was wrong too. The black young man was wrong too. He just had a bad moment in his life. That's all. He's a college kid. I believe he's a biology major. He's a drum major. He's going to go on and have a great career. You understand what great life it looks like. It looks like he's just a kid who was taught that behavior, you know, because obviously he don't live that because he's a college kid. 22, he's probably about to graduate this year or just graduated. So I graduated at 21. So 22, excuse me. So I hopefully this is a teaching moment, but he was wrong and the cop was wrong. The cop deserves whatever punishment he deserves, but that punch should not be worth millions of dollars to taxpayers. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. And so y'all go ahead and have a great day. I'm going to repeat this again. Whatever punishment is on the books for that police officer, he earned it. Now, we also got to say whatever, that young man was wrong too. He was wrong. He closed the door. Imagine closing the door on a police officer. Man, I would never do that. Like, you know what I mean? Young men and young women, don't do that, okay? Roll down your windows. Now, he did say his window didn't work. Does the back window open? Leave the passenger side door open if you feel like, but don't make them believe you're a threat. You understand what I'm saying? So anyways, y'all go ahead and have a great day. Maybe I'll do a part 2 on this if you guys want it. But the young man was wrong and the police officer was wrong. And that punch is going to cost them. God damn. I don't like that he's being rewarded for this either. I don't like it. I don't like that he's being rewarded. I don't like it because you got honest people that are doing the right things. And anyways, that's a whole nother video. Peace.